Did you all enjoy the games? I know I did. Good afternoon, distinguished leaders. I take note of the presence of our Customs Commissioner, Mr. David Toe, all distinguished speakers, mentors, particularly Ambassador Chief Sir Arnold Ahmed, Ambassador Paki, and the Trade Commissioner to India, Your Excellency, Mr. Karen Rano. Mesdames Babao and Carl Delang, my founder and chairlady of the Miss Better Paradise pageant, Madam Anna Baez. The MD of Wisdom Travel, Mr. Mighty Pespandu, one of our MBOB sponsors. Fellow young Papua New Guineans, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the founder and president of PNG Tribal Foundation, Mr. Gary Bustin, for giving me this opportunity in this space alongside distinguished speakers on behalf of my generation, the youth of Papua New Guinea. It is indeed a privilege to stand here and to give my speech this afternoon. My name is Yampela Popena, 19 years old, and a student in the University of Papua New Guinea, taking economics. This year, I made a conscious decision to take a gap year from my studies to fully serve my country, the beautiful land of 1,000 tribes, different languages, the diversity, and the beautiful land of Papua New Guinea. And today, I am not only standing as your Miss Better Paradise PNG, I stand here as a daughter of the land, representing a generation of young people who do not want to be left behind. As a youth myself, I'd like to speak on behalf of the youth. I'd like to share three main things. Firstly, what matters to my generation? Secondly, what we look for in leadership today? And lastly, what advice I would humbly offer to the leaders present and future. Now, first of all, what matters to my generation? We are a generation of young people who want to be seen, who want to be heard, who want to be involved in the decision-making of our country. We are growing in a time where there is a clear tension between tradition and modernity. We were raised by elders who taught us respect for the land and the community. We were taught that when visitors arrive, you serve them first. Yet at the same time, we are growing up in a confusing digital world. We compare our nation with others. We see progress, we see possibility, but we also see gaps and equality and inequality. Inside my generation lies a quiet tension. We want development without losing our cultural identity. We want modern opportunity without sacrificing dignity. We want progress without abandoning our values. We are not rejecting tradition. We are trying to reconcile with the modern world while also upholding the values that our ancestors and our families have passed down through generations. And leadership will determine whether that reconciliation strengthens us or divides us. Secondly, what we look for in leadership today. When people speak about young people, we often hear criticisms. They are impatient, they say. They want things to be easy for them. They're not hardworking. They're always on their phones. However, I see a generation deeply desires fairness and opportunity. A generation that wants opportunity to match effort. A generation that is not asking for perfection, rather for sincerity and accountability. We do not expect leaders to know everything, but we respect leaders whose lives match their words. My generation does not reject leadership. We reject inconsistency. We are not impressed by power. No. We are impressed by integrity, honesty, and accountability through transparency in their work of leadership. We respect leaders who admit their mistakes. We respect leaders who protect the vulnerable. Leaders who reward effort. Leaders who tell the truth, even when it costs them. If leadership feels distant, young people disengage. And you see today in this country. If leadership feels human and worthy, young people engage, which can build a nation. We have to remember that our youths are one of the largest portions of our population. However, they are also a ticking time bomb. If not taken care of, they can either destroy the nation. But if we take them into consideration, involve them in the development of this nation, they will build our nation to be greater in the next 50 years. This is why platforms like Miss Better Paradise pageant exists. The Miss Better Paradise pageant is not simply a beauty pageant. It is a young woman's leadership and development. We are a pageant with purpose, and this crown is of service. In just 3 years, this platform has grown from an idea into a national ecosystem of empowerment. In just 3 short years, we have not only empowered young women, we have empowered designers, artisans, the camera crew, production, backstage. We have given so much opportunity to those locals, providing them homes in terms of accommodation, security providers, hotels, homestays, etc. Many engaged in this business and this platform. Most have not completed education, or they did not go to school, but they have skills, they have talent, and we utilize them on this platform. MBOC has created a huge ecosystem of empowerment. Apart from being a culture and tourism ambassador for the country, I am also an ambassador for the Highlands Peace Campaign. We all must stand together against the violence of women, girls, and children. When I was in Western Highlands, I attended a funeral. It was in my district, Hagen Central District, but in another village, where a woman lost her life, a sister, a daughter, a friend. I attended and gave my speech against women and girls to stop the violence against them. Because what do we gain when we harm our daughters in this nation? Nothing. Women lose their lives every day to violence in all forms, physical, emotional, mental. Even now as I speak, someone out there is losing their lives. Therefore, I'd like to reiterate and rephrase and repeat what I said that day, that fateful day, calling out to the men of our nation, of our country, to stand up and protect our daughters, not harm them. Your role in a family is to protect and to lead. I'd like to remind you to protect your sisters, your mothers, and your daughters in our beautiful nation. Because when women and girls feel safe, only then can the country move forward. The Miss Better Paradise created pathways for provincial and district participation, going far beyond pageantry. It is an economic inclusion. It is a market access. It is visibility, capacity building, and dignity. Many of our young people did not complete formal education, but they are skilled and innovative, And they are the ones in our villages, in our provinces. By empowering people in these young spaces, we empower the future of our country in the next 50 years. Let me remind you all that there are Esthers everywhere you go. There are Esthers back in the village. They might not know it. They might be in their shorts and running around for a ball, or very not so confident as what you see today. However, by creating platforms and spaces for young women to come out, to speak, to try something new, that is when you create Esthers of this nation. I would like to use this opportunity to acknowledge one of our inspiring speakers, Mr. Karan Rana, Managing Director of LJ Hooker, Papua New Guinea. LJ Hookers believed in the Miss Better Paradise version and vision. They stepped forward as a major sponsor, not just investing in an event, but investing in leadership development and nation building. When businesses support purpose, confidence grows. When corporate leaders invest in the youth, a message is sent. You are seen, you are valued, you are worth investing in. And I believe that's what the youth need to hear today. Please join me in acknowledging Mr. Karan Rana and the LJ Hooker team. I'd also like to take this time to thank all our sponsors as well. Thank you so much for supporting the pageant and the purpose that it stands for. Leadership is not about only empowering the visible. It is also about protecting our vulnerable. At the Miss Better Paradise, we have chosen to spotlight the educational barriers facing children with special needs. They are citizens. They are assets of this country. They have every right to the same services and benefits that we do. We often hear the phrase, "Leave no man behind." But do we truly understand what that means? Leaving no one behind involves removing barriers, physical, emotional, mental. Redesigning systems, ensuring accessibility, and restoring dignity for the ones with special needs and for everyone else. It means that a child with special needs is not hidden, not ignored, not excluded, but empowered. As a young leader of this country, I ask all of us, let us move beyond the slogans. Let's remove the barriers and make rights a reality. Last year, during Papua New Guinea's 50th independence anniversary, one of our boldest objectives was achieved, and that was creating pathways through the provincial and districts' participation in the pageant. We started off with 9 provinces. That's a milestone. 9 provinces participated in the national pageant. I entered as Miss Hagen Central, and then I was crowned the Miss Better Paradise Western Highlands, representing my province on the national stage. By God's grace, I became Miss Papua New Guinea, embodying the spirit of all Papua New Guineans. And just last week, in Fiji, Nandi, I came first runner-up in the Pacific pageant. That is a win for all of us. I am a pioneer product of the provincial participation. And as part of my win, Western Highlands will be hosting this year's pageant. Are you all excited? Come to the land of sweet pineapples and eagles. As you can see, this is local tourism boost. We are not waiting for anyone to come in to help us. We're taking things into our own hands. This is decentralization, reaching to our youths from the grassroots, going into the districts and then further into the villages to bring out the young Esthers of our nation. Empowering young women like me, that is what this nation is to stand for. However, none of this would have existed if it wasn't for a vision. And this, I would like to acknowledge our founder and chairperson, Mrs. Anna Bias, an incredible woman who believes in young women like me. She is a development specialist, former Secretary of Community Development and Religion, and current Chancellor of the National Innovative University of Engau. But more importantly, she's a believer in building people, building the next generation of women leaders like me. She is a strong believer that if we stand strong, we must invest in young leaders today. We must not build a future that our youths would live in. Rather, we must build our futures. We must not build our futures for our youths. Rather, we must build our youths for the future. Pardon me on that. She built a team of volunteers, leaders who gave their time, their experience, and their wisdom freely. This is intergenerational leadership in action. When you see me standing here, you see the product of mentorship, guidance, and belief. And that belief has given me wings. Wings to fly and to soar. Wings to use my voice to represent the vulnerable and to speak on behalf of the women of today and of my generation. Let me conclude with this. The message to the leaders of today. My generation is not asking you to make life easy. We're asking you to make it possible. Possible to study, possible to build, possible to believe in the Papua New Guinea that we are. The policies that you design today, we will live inside tomorrow. The culture you tolerate today, we will normalize tomorrow. The standards you set today, we will inherit tomorrow. When you empower young women, you strengthen the nation. When you remove barriers for people with disabilities, you restore dignity. When you build youths for the future, you secure the next 50 years of Papua New Guinea. One day, we will sit where you're sitting now. And we will either thank you or struggle because of what you've done so far. So let us not ignore each other. Let us come together and build the youths. Let us build wisely, let us build boldly. Let us build people so they can build Papua New Guinea. Because the future is not something we wait for. It is something that we prepare for. Thank you, Nampasol.